Oh, I should probably open the camera. Oh my gosh. Our office here. Google Meets can do a fake background, but you can't on YouTube, I guess, or I don't know how, if you can. So, hi, there's only two of you. So I don't know if anyone's going to tune into this, but I figured I'll do a little, I wanted to do like kind of a big overall update on what's going on around here and just with us and Paddle Like a Girl and Tori Goes Outside and just like the Baird life right now because things are chaotic. Hello. Okay, so I do have like a long list of things I want to talk about. Again, I'm going to apologize for the background, but such is life. We can't keep our office clean. Okay, so let's see. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, and I'm excited to talk about them. I had this already, but everything kind of crashed on me right before I joined. Marcia, have some more questions about the second canoe trip. Okay, are you in the second canoe trip? The name Marcia doesn't sound familiar in the second canoe trip, but maybe I haven't been in there quite a lot. But Krista is, yes. I definitely recognized Krista, same last name. So, yeah, we'll get to questions. Hi, Sarah. Yes, there will be. Oh yeah, definitely any questions are welcome. I'll chat about what I have on my list first, and then if there's still any outstanding questions, definitely feel free to ask. So I have to be done before 8 because Jim has his live chat at 8, and unfortunately he takes precedence over my YouTube channel. But anyways, so I'll just kind of dive right in. So the Teslin canoe trips actually is what I wanted to talk about first. So for those who don't know, Paddle Like a Girl partnered with Up North Adventures this year, or for next year. Up North is going to be guiding 2 canoe trips for Paddle Like a Girl. So it's 2 groups of 12 women, and they are both totally sold out, which is very exciting. But it also means that there is a lot of interest in that. The first one sold out within 30 minutes. The second one sold out within 48 hours. So there's a lot of interest. So that being said, we plan to offer another one in 2026. So we're not sure exactly when tickets will go live for the 2026 one, but you can expect that to happen probably next summer. So you'll have notice to kind of get funds in order because it is a pricey trip, but if you have enough kind of lead time, then you'll have some time to kind of put the funds together because it does cost around $3,000. The price might go up for 2026. It depends on like up north and all of that, but we do plan to do. Hopefully we can do one each year, which is really exciting. We want to offer more, so we want to offer. It might be like the Teslin River, and then there might be just a Yukon River guided trip. The idea is to offer like different lengths. So the Yukon River is a bit of a shorter trip than the Teslin. So for people who can't get out for a full 10-day trip, they might be able to do 7 days or 5 days. So we want to offer more options. Another one that I really want to offer, I don't know if we'll have enough time to offer it for 2025, but I want to find a guiding company in Utah and Moab to offer a Green River guided trip, because that's another river that I did this year. That was incredible. Again, beginner level. And so we just want to kind of start collaborating with more guiding companies to offer different options for the Paddle Like a Girl audience to just kind of have the opportunity to get into the backcountry and like explore these really cool areas. So Green River, the nice thing about the Green River is you can paddle it in like April. So it's in Ontario, that's not really that's like kind of like early season paddling, but still pretty chilly. So it's kind of nice to have that shoulder season canoe trip option. And it is a shorter trip and it might be more accessible for some people. We do have, an audience in the States as well. So it might be easier for them to get there than the Yukon, which is very far away and challenging to get to. So that is the Yukon and the guided trips. So just, keep an eye out. If you are still interested in doing a guided trip up in the Yukon, we will be offering more. We're going to work with Up North Adventures again. So, if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the Paddle Like a Girl website. It's just paddlelikeagirl.com. And we send out newsletters and just kind of info as to what you can expect, so that you're prepared for when those tickets go live. What else? So in January 2025, Paddle Like a Girl will have a booth at the Hamilton Adventure Expo. That's January 25th at the Ancaster Fairgrounds. So there will be 3 of us at the booth. We're going to have a little bit of merch to give away, a fun activity to be entered in a giveaway. We'll have the 15-foot bob special there. So if you want to try lifting it up, you absolutely can. And we'll have our Halliburton Forest paddles there. So it'll be a nice little booth. I haven't really done any major like expos or anything like that before, so I'm excited. But if you are in the area or plan to go to the expo, be sure to come to the Paddle Like a Girl booth and say hi. Aside from that, I am doing a talk there. It's just a 30-minute talk. I am probably going to be talking about kind of the inspiration behind Paddle Like a Girl, and kind of what brought me to that point. So I'm excited about that. Also very nervous, but it should be fun. Okay, what else? For anybody who has ordered, I did like a pre-order for some new merch that I had, so I placed that order. Canada Post is still on strike, as I'm sure we are all aware. So I'm going to try my best to get all of the stuff out before Christmas. Let's hope that they can sort things out with that strike before then. But otherwise, I'll have to look into different shipping options. And aside from that, I have a few new designs for merch that I had made, and I haven't had anything actually created with them. I just have the designs. But if you are interested, I have one of the designs up on Teespring, which is linked to my YouTube channel, so you can go check it out. It's kind of cool. It's like a one-line design, so it's really, I don't know. I really like it. It was just kind of this idea that I had where it's just a singular line that starts off with waves and goes into a paddle and then connects with a woman's face and then continues with waves. And it kind of resembles like a heartbeat. So the idea is like paddle like a girl, but it's very simple design, which I kind of like. But if you are interested, you can go check that out. Let's see. And then our Paddle Like a Girl workshops for 2025. Hopefully the dates will be live by February. We like to have them available early in the year because people are planning out their summers pretty early, especially with booking campgrounds and things like that. So early 2025, like February, you should expect the workshop dates to be available. I do hope to offer more. So just like last year, we offered half-day workshops in Peterborough. We're going to offer those again. We might find a new location. Unfortunately, the water there was really windy, so we want to find something a little bit more reliable as far as we don't want white caps on the water and things like that. So we might find a new location for that. But we still want to work with the Canadian Canoe Museum for some workshops. We hope to offer some half-day workshops that are more the theory side of things. So talking about map reading, trip planning, food prep, gear selection, bear safety, fire lighting, all those types of things that take place off of the water. But just to give you a bit more confidence with the actual backcountry camping side of things outside of the canoeing side. So we want to offer those half-day workshops. We might also offer a full-day workshop without any overnights, which is like all the theory plus the paddling, just in a more accessible location, so somewhere closer to the city. So you're just driving out there in the morning and driving home in the evening. So that's the idea, but we have to kind of sort out exactly what those workshops are going to look like. And that being said, we are open to any suggestions. If there are specific things that you're interested in learning or you want to learn more about or gain more confidence in, please send us a note over on Instagram or on the website. We want to provide value for everyone. So yeah, we would like some suggestions as well. Another cool thing that we're hoping to add, I found another potential instructor. She's excited to work with us. I'm excited to work with her. She is also Orca certified. She would be able to run things down like closer to the GTA, like York region area, but she also does nature journaling. So she teaches nature journaling, which I think would be a really cool addition to a workshop. So you can look out for that if you're interested in it. Yeah, so I think that's it for Paddle Like a Girl. Really fast. Does anyone have any questions? I don't know if anyone's super interested in it, but. Oh, cool. You were up in the Yukon. Yeah, up north is amazing. We've worked with them a lot, and it's nice it's kind of like a soft handoff to up north, because it can be kind of overwhelming to go online and just sign up for, a guided trip and then just show up in the Yukon. Like, of course, there'd be emails going back and forth, but having, oh, cool. Sarah, you're interested in the nature journaling. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it would be so cool, the nature journaling. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of nice to have, like, I'm kind of that in-between person. So I have a group chat going with everyone who's going on the trip. And if they have any questions, they send it in the group chat, and then I can kind of amalgamate them and send one big email to up north just to clarify, or I can just answer them myself because I might know the answer without having to bother up north. But yeah, they're great. They have just like an incredible fleet of canoes. They have all the gear you would need. Yeah, what kind of menu is being discussed for the trips? That's a good question. We aren't 100% sure. The guides do the shopping basically just before the canoe trip. So they do their best to meet everybody's dietary restrictions. I don't know how fancy they get with their meals, but I do feel like most guided trips they get pretty fancy with their meals, but that's a good question, something that I can definitely check in with up north on. I've personally never done a guided trip, so, but I hear a lot about the meals and the food that's brought out there. I think that they have some good stuff. I've heard Temagami outfitting. We did which I should mention, we still plan to do guided trips with Temagami outfitting. We're hoping to try to do one in Algonquin Park as well. We want to add some like layers, basically. So like closer to home, short, cheaper trips, and then like the really big extravagant ones. So like kind of anywhere in between, we want to have options for people to join. But yeah, Temagami outfitting, they do like ribs, full rack of ribs out there. It's incredible. So alumni. So for the Yukon, because it is such a big trip, we didn't just do alumni for the Yukon. We might still keep it alumni for the ones that are closer to home. So Algonquin and Temagami might be alumni, meaning anybody who's done any of the workshops. So, but that's a good question. For the ones that are probably going to be harder to sell, we would just do the audience of Paddle Like a Girl versus the ones that are smaller, closer to home. We'll stick with alumni. Where do we get a list of clothing? So I actually, a part of the group, Chris, are you in the group chat? I don't know, but I know I'm waiting on a few people to download WhatsApp. I have 2 group chats going with the groups that are going on the Teslin in WhatsApp. And basically that's where we chat. But I also have started a group like planning database on Notion with my trip planner. And so I'm going to have everything in there. So it's a Notion trip planner. So there is going to be a packing list in there. There's going to be any of the medical forms. Oh. Any of the medical forms that need to be filled out will be in there. Any contact information of, us, the group up north, whatever it may be, is going to be housed there so that there's just like one spot that you need to go to look at. But yeah, Krista, if I'll send you an email maybe with the link to WhatsApp, but we do have a group chat going. So we can invite you into there and make sure you're on the same page. Any like pertinent information I'm emailing out. Nothing major has happened yet or anything like that, so you haven't missed out on anything. But we hope to also get a group like video call going. So we just had a group chat last night with the first group. So most of them were able to hop on to a call. We just did like a little intro. Everyone kind of talked about what they're excited about, what they're nervous about, and we just kind of went over the database. It was really straightforward and nothing crazy. It was about half an hour, but just the opportunity to see everyone's face and have an idea of who you're going on this trip with, because you're going to be out there for, 8 days in the middle of nowhere with this group of people. So you might as well have a chance to get to know them a little bit, or maybe find your buddy before heading out there if you can. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of a nice opportunity to meet everyone. Okay. Any other questions about the Teslin or Yukon or Paddle Like a Girl in general? Okay. Well, I'm glad to see people are interested in the nature journaling. I think it's going to be really cool. That's also something that's included in this these Teslin trips. We're going to meet with, we're going to do a virtual call with Billy Joe and have her do a nature journaling session, because I think, it's a once in a lifetime trip for a lot of people. So it's a good opportunity to like actually document it properly and take, I don't know anything about journaling, so I'm excited to learn something myself. So it'll be really cool. Okay, and aside from that, I'm so excited. Everyone's so excited. It's so fun to like just see the excitement in the group. So yeah, I'm excited to do a call with the second group. We haven't done it yet. I think we've decided we'll wait till January to do that one. And so as far as Tori Goes Outside side of things, so like my Instagram and YouTube and all of that, I feel like it has all really taken a back burner for me for now. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have going on with Paddle Like a Girl. Obviously, now that it's December, things have kind of died down, which is nice. But well, as far as business, but of course, the holidays are amping up. We're trying to wrap things up for kind of Paddle Like a Girl gym stuff, and then Tori Goes Outside always is just kind of like a last minute thing, I guess. It's kind of falls by the wayside. So I don't have a ton of content prepared for Tori Goes Outside, Instagram or YouTube. I haven't really had a chance to go through I've been editing the videos that are going on Jim's YouTube. So usually as I'm editing, I'm picking out some shorts and stuff to put on Instagram, but I feel like I haven't been really keeping up with that. I'm really very much in like holiday mode. I'm really focused on like making the holidays special for the kids. And so we have like 4 advent calendars each day, which sounds ridiculous, but we have like an activity advent calendar, the chocolate ones for Wesley and Hudson, and then we do a book advent calendar. So, and I'm really just trying to stay off my phone in the evening when the kids are home from school, because I feel like they're home from school for like 2 hours before they go to bed. So, I don't want, and then the time that I have without the kids, I'm like editing or working, and there's no other time to like focus on Instagram, which, as nice as it might be, it's just kind of not a priority for me right now. So the priorities are Jim's YouTube channel, and Paddle Like a Girl. So Tori Goes Outside kind of, I'm sitting inside a lot lately to edit videos, but I do have a lot of plans for Tori Goes Outside. So I want to put together kind of full docs of all of the family stuff from my own perspective. Of course, I don't want to use a lot of repeat content from Jim's channel. So what I plan to do is, go through the Stikine footage and make a full doc, the Teslin, We did the Newfoundland, Labrador, and then I did a hike in Tombstone with my sister. So I have a bunch of videos lined up, but I want to do it from my perspective. So almost like a narrated movie, if you will, that kind of talks about how I was feeling in the moment, what's really going on behind the scenes. Because of course, we film, you know, terabytes of footage on each trip. So, and it's getting condensed down to, each episode is like half an hour. So we're cutting out a lot of stuff. And of course, we're not filming 24/7, but I do think that it's important, especially with the kids, to really talk about how me as the mom is feeling in certain moments, and just the things I did to prepare, the gear that we're using, just stuff like that. So it'll be kind of a full doc with like a narration. So I would need to take the time to sit down, write a bit of a script, record it, and then go and actually edit it. So that would take me a long time to do each of those. So whenever I'm not editing gym stuff, I will be working on those intermittently, but I just don't foresee me getting those done anytime soon. So yeah, I have a lot of content. It's just a matter of I don't have a lot of time. And so I do want to get that stuff out. And I do think there would be a lot of interest in that as far as families who want to get out into the backcountry. I want to share that behind the scenes stuff for them so that we answer some questions, I guess. I'm seeing some questions coming in here. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. Really appreciate you both taking the kids out. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot taking the kids out there, and like I feel like we don't really show a lot of the preparing. Like it's so chaotic trying to prepare for them that like the thought of pulling out a camera and like setting it up and filming what we're setting up and packing is really overwhelming. And I do sometimes start filming and then I just get carried away with what I'm preparing and I totally forget to keep filming, and then I don't have enough stuff to actually make a video out of it. So that's why I like the idea of just kind of narrating and maybe doing some like talking head in between scenes so that I can talk about what I've prepared or how I've prepared for different things and the gear that we brought, what we're sleeping on, the food that I prepared, and, just little things that maybe most people don't really think about, but parents probably would. So yeah, I think that would be fun. Any content this winter out? Yeah, so we do plan to go to our cabin. Hopefully, if if the trails open up, Jim would basically have to go up there and find the route into our cabin. There's kind of a trail behind it that we can get in there through, but there's a section that I don't think there is a trail. So it's just a matter of finding that route there. So I think I want to send Jim to go maybe with a friend and find that route before we head out there in the cold with the kids and get stuck or have to make camp halfway through. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if we're prepared, of course, but I just think for safety wise, it just makes sense for Jim to head out, blaze a trail, or like at least mark the trail so that we know next time we know exactly where to go, and also just prepare it for winter. He went up and did a lot of wood and stuff like that, but there's a Franklin stove up there right now and it rips through wood really quickly. So we just want to make sure we're prepared. We don't want to go up there with the kids and something go wrong, or we're like freezing, or for some reason the propane isn't working. So we just want to make sure everything's good, being that it would be our first time there in the winter. But we do plan to go up there. We do plan to film some stuff up there. So you can stay tuned for that. Some other content that I'm planning on filming for hopefully my YouTube. I'm doing like kind of a creators weekend at Cabinscape at the end of February. So we're going to go up. It's going to be 5 of us, and we're going to we're going to have like a fun weekend, little getaway at Cabinscape. It's going to be in Halliburton, and we're going to film some stuff, and it'll probably just be fun and silly and like a little adventure. But I'll try to film something for my YouTube. I don't know how much in-depth filming I'll be doing, but definitely it'll be on Instagram. Yes, Annie, that would be cool if you could, for your 50th birthday, that would be awesome to celebrate in the Yukon. Yeah, it really is a trip of a lifetime. Like, it's so beautiful, and there's just so much history there. It's like it's incredible. I'm so excited for these two groups that are going next year. Um, so yeah, we'll keep an eye out for when we offer it for 2026 for sure. Quick videos on dehydrating food would make for great content. Yeah. Again, I have filmed some of that, but I'm also not very good at dehydrating food. I'm really just guessing. And I've had people message me and be like, you can't dehydrate that. And I'm like, I did though. So I don't know. Like, you can't dehydrate cheese. Well, I did. I dehydrated a full lasagna and I rehydrated it and it was perfectly fine. I think I think the problem is how you're storing it. I don't think you can dehydrate cheese and then leave it in your cupboard for a year. I dehydrate it, I vacuum seal it, I put it in the freezer, and then I pull it out of the freezer right before we leave, and it'll be good for 2 weeks. The cheese isn't going to go rancid that quickly. So, anyways, yeah, I'll definitely be happy to share my dehydrator journey with you because I'm on a journey with it myself. So, um, the dates, Annie, I'm not sure what the dates would be for 2026, but we will definitely keep you posted. I would assume it's going to be like August. We're going to aim for August. August is nice because, it gets dark at night and the bugs hopefully aren't so bad, but it's hit or miss each year, of course. So we will aim for like the same time frame for sure. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have here? So I went over all of the content that I'm planning on going over. And then I just wanted to chat about the Teslin series. So we just finished the rest of the Teslin series over on Jim's channel. So if you haven't seen it already, you can now go binge watch it from beginning to end if you'd like. But the last episode ended with Wesley unfortunately having a seizure. He randomly started having really bad seizures on the last day of our trip. And I kind of wanted to chat a little bit about it. We did do a bit of an interview at the end of the video because we didn't want to leave everyone like, is Wesley okay? Like, we wanted to tell you he is okay and he is still okay. But Wesley does have seizures. He has FOXG1. He hadn't had a seizure in 3 years before that. So the odds of him having one on the trip was just kind of really low. Of course, because of his syndrome, he's followed and seen by many specialists. So he has a pediatrician, he's followed by neurology, many specialists at sick kids, but neurology and genetics is like kind of the main two that follow him. But because he hadn't had a seizure in a few years, he only needed to be seen by neurology once a year, really, at this point. But we had actually done an overnight EEG for him in May of this year, and it came back with nothing. And then, of course, he saw his pediatrician in July. They do all the typical stuff, weigh him, make sure, his dosing is correct based on his weight. So really, as far as like preparing for that, there's not really much more we could do. The next step that we could take, I guess, would be taking him in and getting blood work taken because they can measure the levels of his carbamazepine in his blood. And that'll tell you if his levels are good, basically. But that's also still not a guarantee. So, for example, after he had the seizures in the Yukon, they bring him to the hospital and they took his blood that first night before they made any changes to his dose. And based on his levels, they said his levels were good for carbamazepine. So the test said that his levels were good, but he was still having seizures. So we could have gone in and taken blood and they would have been like, yeah, he's good to go. And then he could have still had seizures. So as scary as the seizures are to see and watch, they're not life-threatening and they're not causing lasting damage unless they last, which the doctors reassured me, 30 to 60 minutes or more. The longest one he had was 5 minutes, which was very terrifying and devastating to watch. But knowing now that, okay, that's not life-threatening, that's definitely the point where you do call for medical services, but it's not life-threatening at that point. So yeah, that was very scary, but he's okay. They increased his carbamazepine levels and he's been okay ever since. It's funny because on that canoe trip, I remember saying halfway through, I think Wesley's gaining weight. Like I said that, I think once or twice on the trip because he was eating a lot. I prepared a lot of food for him. I didn't realize how much I had prepared. But also weight gain is something that Wesley struggles with. So he hadn't, so obviously there was just, he gained a bunch of weight suddenly. Dose just wasn't high enough. And so thankfully, all they had to do was increase his dose. There may come a time where he needs a whole new medication altogether, but this medicine works well for him, carbamazepine. A lot of these medications have a lot of side effects, and so we know that this one works well with him. So they haven't had to change his dose since we changed it in the Yukon. But yeah, it's, it's a risk. It is really a low risk for Wesley. He, like I said, he doesn't have seizures very often. And so there's kind of the risk benefit of, getting him out into nature. I did say to Jim, though, before even he had the seizures on this canoe trip, I did say to Jim, I think this might be the last big canoe trip we take him on. I kind of want it to be the last long big canoe trip. I had been saying that for a few days. It is just getting more challenging. He's getting bigger. There's just a lot to manage. So I think 5 days is great. A 5-day canoe trip is wonderful. 10 days is a lot though. So it's a lot to pack. It's a lot of food to prepare. And it's tiring, just managing the kids and for that length of time. So we'll see. Jim's wasn't super happy about that. So we'll see. But and then of course he had seizures after I had been mentioning it. So it was kind of for me, the thing that solidified, maybe we need to kind of dial it back a little bit with Wes, but it would just be, I hate the idea of going on canoe trips as a family without him. So then does that mean we don't go on canoe trips at all? And it's just kind of this weird balance, but it's something that we're going to have to think about. Anyways, I kind of rambled on there a lot, but Wesley's doing great. And yeah. Okay, let's see. Some questions here. The outdoor experience are super helpful. Yeah, we've like I said, we have a lot of people following him and specialists and things like that, and they all really think it's really good for him in many different ways. We also, he has a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, and just in general, for everybody, being out in nature is beneficial, for many reasons. But I think for him, I think it is calming for him. I think he's built some good core strength too, just being in the canoe and the movement, sitting up, and just his him kind of reacting to that. He loves reaching and touching the water. He loves all the sounds, and of course, he just loves being with us. He loves being whatever we're doing. He wants to be a part of it, and he's just so happy to be with us. And so, I do definitely think it's beneficial for him and just for all of us as a family. It's incredible quality time as a family. They've both learned and grown so much throughout these trips. So yeah, I don't know. There's a balance though somewhere. We'll just have to kind of figure it out. But let's see. 100% off topic. Sorry, sort of. I wondered for a while if Wesley has had a haircut. Yes, he has had many haircuts. His hair grows really quickly and it gets in his eyes very quickly. So I just take scissors and I just trim it around. He actually needs another one right now. I styled it today a little bit because he had pictures with Santa at school. So yeah, he's had haircuts. But yes, he does have just such beautiful little perfect ringlets. He's so precious. Yeah. So that's it for Wes. I just kind of wanted to do a little update. I don't want to, it feels weird to be sharing it. I was editing this video and it felt very weird to be editing it because it feels very personal and private and vulnerable. And we don't really, there's a balance with filming the kids for us and sharing the kids because of course there's, a lot about not putting your kids on the internet. But we also aim to inspire people and also teach people. So I think we've actually had a lot of comments saying how much we've inspired them to get outside, and like they're a caregiver, and this has helped them. And so there's kind of this like, well, we don't want to share anything that's too intimate or vulnerable or anything that's going to be embarrassing for the kids when they get older. But also just like kind of a healthy balance of like, well, this is the reality of what tripping is like with them and what they're doing on the trip. And I tried to be mindful of that. And so, of course, we weren't really filming when Wesley was having seizures, believe it or not, because we were a little preoccupied. But once we knew he was okay, Jim was able to kind of do a little interview. And I feel like there's, a way to kind of do it so that it's not super icky, I guess. And then, of course, we did make sure everyone knew that he was okay. We're not trying to make Wesley's life a cliffhanger. Like it was the reality of what happened, and we just kind of updated you. And then, once we were home from the hospital, Wesley spent, me and Wesley spent 2 nights in the hospital in Whitehorse. They wanted to make sure he was stable and not having any more seizures. And it was such a great team of people there. We already, I want to move to Whitehorse already. I do and I don't, but I don't because my family's here. But just seeing the hospital there and the pediatricians there, I was just like, we really we could, it was so incredible, the experience we had there. But Wesley is good. All that to say, Wesley's good. What else do I have on my list? And so that's really it. I kind of talked about most of it. We're planning to go to the cottage in the winter. We're excited about Christmas. Like I said, I'm just trying to spend a lot of time with the kids in the evening. I love Christmas. My mom made Christmas very special for us. So I'm trying to do the same for my kids, kind of in honor of her, because she passed last year. So I'm trying to do all the things. And Hudson keeps asking every night before he goes to bed, well, we need to put out snacks and milk for Santa. And I'm like, no, he's not coming tonight. He's coming in 2 weeks. You're going to have to wait. So maybe I'm making it too exciting. And he said the other day, waiting for Santa is so boring. I know the buildup is long, but anyways, it's a lot of fun seeing how excited they are. So, thank you. I appreciate that. That's really it. If anybody has any questions about you can ask anything. This is not a topic, there's not a certain theme or anything like that. But if anyone has any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I won't keep you very long because I can head up and feed the kiddos. Let's see. I love watching your family trips. Hudson and Wes are going from these experiences. Thank you for being open to share. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Yeah, we really appreciate everybody watching. It's very weird and exciting. It's not weird that you're watching, but it's kind of cool to know that people are interested in this. And then it just makes you realize how many people have things in common with you. And just you have a bit of a community, which is really cool. And we really appreciate it. It's all so nice to see. And we do get a lot of really positive comments, which is nice. The negative ones are few and far between. And if we do get negative comments, it means the video is getting a lot of views, which is a positive. So there's kind of a silver lining to it. But most comments are really supportive, and we really appreciate that. So thank you very much. But if there are no more questions, I'm going to hop off, and then I'll get Jim ready or set up for his live so that he doesn't have this background. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. And happy holidays. Bye.